Dr. Carlson, you have mentioned in some parts that obviously we're standing on the foot all day long, or while we're sitting. But anyway, when we are standing, we're standing. The foot is carrying the whole thing. How much truth is there to the fact that if your feet somewhere along the line are out of alignments, in whichever way they're out of alignments, and I want you to shed some light on which way they could be out of alignments, that they affect your knee, you have knee pains, maybe your lower back, maybe your shoulder, maybe even your headaches. How much truth is there to that, and how does that work together, and why could it happen if it does happen?
All right, that is a very true statement. If your foot is out of alignment or you have some foot problems, when we walk, it's called the kinetic chain. Anatomically, we walk upright. That whole story, the foot bone's connected to the ankle bone to the knee bone, and that childhood nursery rhyme is very true. Actually, everything affects it. It's what we call the kinetic chain. So if we do have a malalignment with our foot, it can extend up to our ankle, and then it can affect your knee, because what happens is you're not walking correctly. The forces are being shifted. One part of the knee is under more stress than the other. Then you work your way up. It goes up to your hip. The same thing happens, and then into the lower back. So it definitely is something to that, and that is an issue. Some of the things that happen is a lot of times you hear people say, my arch flattens, or I pronate, or it collapses and I roll in off my foot. When you're rolling in off your foot, you're putting additional stress on the big toe and additional stresses on the knee, again, the hip and the lower back. So different problems do occur with that.
What does pronate mean?
Pronate is when a person, when they're off weight or they're sitting down, they look at their foot, they have an arch. When they step down, their arch flattens, or their foot gets like a pancake flat on the floor. When they go to take a step forward, they walk off the inside of their foot, or by the big toe. They don't walk off the ball of the foot. So when you walk off the inside of your foot, it's called pronation. We really should walk from a heel. Yeah. You should walk with a heel-toe gait, but a lot of times they push off on the inside of the foot, and that's what you call pronation.
What about if, some people, I don't know whether you're supposed to walk like straight, the feet are parallel and they go like this, or versus like walking like this, where the toes point outside, and don't do that with skiing, kind of like to have to go like this, like you see it in the comic movies, and it really happens when you ski sometimes, or if the feet are like that. Either way, I can assume that the knee and even the hips need to kind of like then adjust what is down here to up there, because otherwise I guess you kind of like, you're like a pretzel.
Right. And that's putting additional strain on the joints. Like you said, when people walk like this, like a duck, that's what we call an abducted gait or an apropulsive gait. They don't propel correctly. So again, if they're walking with their feet like a duck, that is a problem. They're putting additional stress on the joint because they're not walking correctly. Then a lot of times you see young children, they walk in-toed and they trip over their toes. It's what they call an in-toe gait. Again, that's additional stresses. You're supposed to walk straight and locomotion should be forward. So those things need to be corrected so the person can walk correctly and not stress and strain the other joints of the limb or the lower leg that help them walk or enable them to walk.
Right. And is a podiatrist able to straighten out this, outward duck walk or the inside baby walk or whatever? A podiatrist can fix that.
Yes, again, we speak about orthotics. Orthotics can be used to straighten out a child who walks pigeon-toed or in-toed. What we do is we make modifications to actually retrain them to walk correctly with the device. And again, with a person who is older and walks like a duck, again, we put things in their shoes to help them walk more in a forward gait, meaning in a propulsive gait instead of an abducted, apropulsive. If you're walking on the side of the foot, you're not walking with a a heel-toe gait. So again, it's orthotics for that. I mean, it sounds like a catch-all, but they really do work, and they do balance the foot out, and sometimes also help with knee and lower back pain. A lot of times you get an orthotic for a foot problem, and people say, oh, by the way, my knee was hurting for years and years and years, and now it doesn't hurt. Well, we realigned everything, and now we took that additional stress off, and the knee is working properly, or the hip, and so on and so forth.
So orthotics are quite powerful. So very obviously, the cushion thing from Safeway doesn't look like be able to do that. I can see that now. Why? Now, let me ask you, are there people out there who might have headache, shoulder pain, hip pain, knee pain, and have tried all kinds of things, and doctor tells them it's surgery, blah, 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 or whatever. Anyway, they've tried things, and they might not necessarily go to a doctor. It's a little painful. Maybe I've gone to a chiropractor, blah. And when in fact, when they come to a podiatrist, that there is something misaligned with their foot, something nobody yet looked at. Does that happen?
Well, a lot of times, not really I can't really say with a headache or a break. With the, with a backache it can be, with a hip ache it can be, with a knee ache it can be, ankle pain it can be. All that. Complaints. So many people complain about my knee hurts, my hip hurts, and lower back is another big issue. As I said, if you realign, it does help, and it does alleviate that stress. Because if you're realigning the way you walk, the muscles are working correctly the way they should, and it's taking off that abnormal stress. The lower back is always muscle ache and pain. So if you realign and things work the way they should, you're not stressing or other joints or other muscles, it balances out.
Right. So I guess there's something to it. You got to kind of from head to toe. I guess we just simply shouldn't forget the toe, should we, huh?
No, we shouldn't forget the toes.
Okay. All right. Well, like always, Dr. Carlson, very informative. Very happy to hear about it, and I'm sure the viewers and listeners of this segment will appreciate it as well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.